Cause and effect essays look at how there is a meaningful relationship between an event and its results. So, what are possible topics? Well, there are just a few listed here. These are not meant to limit you. They're meant to give you an idea or a place to start. So, as we've been looking at food and travel and online classes, these are the topics we're going to consider here. So for thinking about food, one way to look at cause and effect would be that it would be surprising or meaningful might be how food or cooking improves mental health. And the reason that's meaningful is that's not something we typically associate with food. We might typically associate food with nutritional health. But mental health, that is the endorphins and the sort of social or emotional meaning to cooking, is something we've only been considering recently. Here are some essays that could help with an essay like that and be possible sources, as well as your own experience. Because remember, this is an essay that's going to need two outside sources. Another thing to look at that would be meaningful would be food science. That is why something occurs in food and proving that through science. So it might be a fact that baking hamburgers creates more tender, evenly cooked, and safer hamburgers than grilling, which is how we typically do hamburgers, is grilling. But having the science and proving why that effect occurs when you bake it rather than grill it is meaningful, because it's not something that we typically do. Hamburgers are a cook-out food, not a cook-indoors food. So travel, again, we can go back to mental health, because mental health isn't something we typically associate with travel, and so proving that meaning could be a good argument for why you need to take a break to do something that's not part of your ordinary routine. Online education. So, I, as a professor, of course, thought about cheating. Cheating is something that happens all the time. We know that. But what we don't always know is why it happens. What are the causes? So this would be more of a causal argument. Or you could do an effect argument, which what are the unexpected effects of cheating? Even if you don't get caught, how does this impact your learning? How does it impact you later in your professional career if you've been cheating, especially in online classes, as you are getting your secondary education? So here are sources for all of these if these are topics you are interested in. I am not demanding or these are not required readings. I just went out and looked for the kinds of secondary sources that you might use with arguments like these. And next up, we're going to be looking at how do you use sources meaningfully or not in an essay.